Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended. I'm Kim. This is Tyler, and it is Twisted Tuesday. That's right.
No, hate it, hate it.
Hope everybody's had a fantastic day so far. I know we got some stuff for you. I got one little thing for you guys. One little thing that just it really, in the words of Peter Griffin, really grinded my gears when I saw it today. So we're going to start off with that. But first, Tyler, what else are we going to have going
Really
on?
chapped my sphincter.
Ew.
You know those. All right, so actually, okay, I found something. I got a change.org petition, and I might start a Scotiabank account after this. I might actually get a Scotiabank account.
Why?
We'll get into it.
Okay.
That's what normally means. We'll get into. That's normally what that means.
The bleach runs deep, people. The bleach runs deep.
Of course, inflation is now God, we're hitting 7%, but it's closer to like 15%. It's interesting how you can make statistics kind of work in your favor. It's interesting how those pesky statistics work. So we're going to talk about that, and in order of fighting climate change and somehow blaming Putin for government policy at home. Somehow that's Russia's fault, not not failed government policy, and I guess climate change, and Klaus Schwab and all the World Economic people like Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh and half of the Liberal cabinet is World Economic Forum members. So isn't it coincidence, huh?
Well, I mean,
Kind of.
to be honest, it sounds pretty normal. I don't think I've ever heard anybody who's in government. Well, okay. I don't think I've ever heard Trudeau or any of his little minions ever be like, you know what, we fucked up. Yeah, we did it.
Oh,
No, it's always somebody else's
government.
fault. So, who are we going to blame? Okay, well, there's not the so-called freedom convoy. There's not the truckers, the anti-vaxxers. No, Russia. Let's blame Russia.
Oh, it's Russia's fault. It was funny seeing when Vice President Biden was that the buck stops with me, and anything and everything, all of his policies, every single one that failed, like all of them. Like I can't think of a policy that actually worked, which actually improved things. It's made things significantly worse. And it's incredible. Like I would love to hear people's opinion on this. Um How delusional can you be where you can see a country that is running out of product, you cannot ship things, you cannot buy things, and yet you still have the audacity to say that the economy is better than ever. Don't understand that. So please, if someone can explain that to me, I'd love to know. Please let me understand your psychosis because I don't get it. Because I look at everything, I'm in that industry, and all I see is no, we don't know when we're getting stuff. The again, the useless eaters that the government has deemed most of society, and we'll talk about that. And of course, gas prices is setting records all over the world. Again, beautiful government policy in order to combat climate change. Well, the best way to stop climate change is by killing people. I honestly, I think that is their end result here. So people are getting stranded. People are getting stranded because of how high gasoline has gotten. So we'll talk about that, and whatever else we end up talking about. But of course, you're here Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Videos are up. You're welcome to hit the like button, hit the share button, hit subscribe. We're on Rumble, we're on Spotify. Leave a review, share this with your friends. You learned something today, or actually not. Let's just leave it at that. If you learned something today. Um, question. Well, you know what? Let's just get into it. Let's get right into this. Okay, so this first video was someone was asking, I believe, about COVID-19 and how in other places he doesn't put a mask on, but in Canada he does.
It's not even just
So
that. Yeah, it's, I mean, yeah, they asked the question, but it's like his mask wearing is very all over the place.
it's performative. It's performative.
Yeah,
And of course, he just came back. He came back from the Americas summit. Somehow he got COVID a second time. So the first thing I had asked was, what's really going on?
right? Who you
Again,
hiding
so
from
for
this time?
someone that has 3 flu shots, already had COVID, wears masks, somehow he still managed to get it.
So
So
weird.
why are we stopping unvaccinated people? Again, I have asked almost everyone that has gotten COVID, was it worth shutting the country down for? Was it the world down for? And overwhelmingly, no. No, it wasn't worth it. But yet, let's keep charging ahead. All right, so let's just play this quick little video and let's listen to this shit show. Fucking joke.
wear a mask consistently and depending on different situations. The Ontario government is lifting the remaining mask mandates very shortly. Do you still
Yep.
believe that a mask mandate should be in place? And if so, in what type of
First of all, I understand how tired everyone is of the pandemic, of the different rules and restrictions that we have to go through.
Of the pandemic.
Oh,
But
He's
most
trying to
people
sound so
understand that this
macho.
pandemic is not over yet.
Oh.
We continue to see our hospitals filled with people suffering
Not over, Kim.
tremendous consequences.
know.
We
All right, here,
continue
pause.
to see
Did you
more
okay,
spread.
pause it first.
Okay.
The pandemic is not over. Don't forget for a second, even though everyone's talking about Russia, Ukraine, and we're not even talking about that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the monkeypox. It's monkeypox, and oh, it's gay pride, and again, he went to Ukraine, wasn't wearing a mask. He's here, and he's not wearing a mask. I understand he's supposed to be on a stage talking in California, one of the hardest lockdown places in the world, at its peak. But yet now Canada is we're the hardest lockdown. All right, so let's continue with this.
Continue to run the risk of new variants. Every step of the way, we will continue to be guided by the very best science we can because our
All
first
right, okay. So
and
I think we
primary
Hold on.
got the point.
responsibility is to make sure we're doing
Doing
everything we
what?
can.
Oh,
to
we're,
keep
we're
people safe.
we're doing everything we can to keep people safe. Hold on. What was the question again? Hold on.
depending on different
Yeah.
situations?
Let's listen again.
The Ontario government is lifting the remaining mask mandates very shortly. Do you still believe that a mask mandate should be in
Yeah,
place?
no,
And
You
if
it-
so,
still believe that a mask mandate, is still necessary, especially after he hasn't been wearing it consistently, which is the wording there. Did anybody hear him answer the question? He is
he
literally a pro at not answering questions, of just talking shit.
yeah. That is one thing, and again, people are seeing it, and okay, do people understand? That is a very subjective term. People understand where what the fucking stupid did he say? Speaking of fucking stupid,
What's the stupid that came out of his mouth?
um, speaking of stupid, hold on, I want to get this wording. This doesn't sound. Most people understand. Oh, okay. They understand that this pandemic is not over. Okay, so he didn't he okay. So actually, I gave him more credit than I thought. He said that people understand the importance of masks. Blah blah blah. Oh no, no. He just said people understand that we're still in a pandemic. I think most people have said, at what cost? I think people are finally coming around to the idea of at what cost? Is it the cost of my job? Well, that already happened to you when they shut you down and they said that your job is not essential. But here, we'll give you money that's being charged at interest. So were you ahead? Were most, middle class people that struggled, were you suddenly ahead? I would wager a guess that no. I think most people are not ahead. But, we had Amazon, Walmart advocate for lockdowns and tell people to shelter in place. People I think people forget just what happened. Like take a look back, take a stroll down memory lane
Everybody's
of
traumatized. They all have PTSD. No one remembers shit.
oh, it's oh, I'm doing this to help everyone. Okay, but almost everyone. And again, I'm not talking about people that are 65 and plus, and we do have some charts that I was looking at. 65 and below is, in terms of again, like we have to bring up these numbers. 0.03 hot death rate. 0.03.
I don't know, babe. That's
We
huge. It's huge. Shut it down.
again, and this was from Bill Gates that we didn't know that it was disproportionately affecting the old. Fuck, one of our first videos ever was saying, look at the numbers. Just look at the statistic, just raw statistics, not trying to manipulate. Just okay, age groups, and you see from 12 to 19, it is virtually non-existent. It is a fucking rounding error. Speaking of swearing, we do have a charity or a campaign going on. We call it Curse for a Cause. Every time we swear, add two more to the list, we will be donating to a charity in Canada. So it's things that that we believe or that we want to support, whether it's um, animal shelters or people that are fighting for liberty inside of Canada. And I understand apparently freedom is a alt right position, which is just shows how much they've really weaponized um, everything here. Oh, all right, but so
How is freedom an alt right thing? Like you would think that the vast majority of people would want freedom. To me, that's just like I don't know how it would be a far left or right thing. You know what I mean? Like just a
you,
I want to be free.
yeah, all right. So the person had just simply asked, "Why are you so inconsistent?" And then he went on a completely separate question. Of course, his secretary cockholster there didn't really do anything,
No, she just stands there.
but it's incredible. He came back from California and, "Oh, I got COVID again. Oh, good thing." Like, how? It is almost statistically impossible. I have not seen anyone have a reinfection of it. It is so incredibly rare.
I mean,
And
I didn't think it was possible at all. Mind you, I mean, I thought when you got the vaccine, you were completely, cured from it, never going to get it to
I
begin with.
no,
Oh
but
shit,
vaccine doesn't mean that
misinformation.
anymore.
Right. That was
Yeah.
that was the information in the beginning, and then they changed it. Right. Got it.
Yeah, so Canada is the place that still, stops people from international travel, even though, Mr. Greenhouse, Mr. Carbon Emission himself literally flies over the world, spends and travels more in, what was it, 31 days than most people would actually use in a lifetime?
Right?
Over 30 something thousand kilometers in less than 30 days in order to promote his budget in order to fight climate change. Well, it's the hypocrisy. It's the how disconnected you are, and it's telling again. This is where we talked about this before, where the leftist, the Marxist idea of the bourgeoisie and the proletariat, the elites and the serfdom, the plebs, the poors, where they, the elites say, hey, you know what? No, you shouldn't be allowed to fly all over the place. Well, why me? But you can't. Well, yeah, because I'm fighting for climate change. You're just a useless eater, as they very clearly say. We have about
Well, I mean, I'm an eater. I wouldn't say useless though. I'm definitely
oh,
an eater.
but that's full on what they have said. And again, it's not conspiracy. They say this stuff outright. We have about 5 billion B with a B useless eaters. They don't even call them you wanna talk about othering, that is othering on a grand scale, where they said that the people that were unvaccinated are plague carriers, are disease rats, similar to how in Nazi Germany, how they decided to treat the Jewish community. They said
Yeah.
that they were plague rats, they were cheap, and they were destroying our country. Well, again, it's the same idea. Over 6 million people cannot travel within Canada. And you have this leftist fucking psycho dumb fucks that feel it necessary. Well, you can still travel, you just can't get on a plane. You just can't get on a plane. Well, if you just follow the rules, if you follow the rules, you absolutely you can do that. Okay. We had one article pulled up about a guy with Guillain-Barré syndrome that almost died. People that have adverse reactions to it. "Oh, well, that never happened. That doesn't happen. Why can't you just do it?"
See,
Because last I checked, this wasn't a dictatorship. That's the thing. So you see him again telling you how fucking smart he is and how dumb you are.
my biggest issue personally is that if people were transparent, right? Like, okay, if they're going to come out and say, okay, this is what's coming out. We got a flu shot for you, and we're really hoping that if you take this flu shot, it's going to lessen your chances of getting COVID, and also lessening the adverse effects that COVID could potentially give you. But there are some side effects. These are the potential side effects, or they're still kind of undetermined. But as they kind of go along, okay, we've noticed these things and stuff like that. If a government was actually transparent like that, I would feel much more comfortable than taking something and being like, okay, so this is the pros, this is the cons. It's like that with literally every medication you decide to take. Okay, well, I'm going to take a medication for depression, but it could potentially do this and this and this. Okay, which is the outweighing, is it the pros or the cons? And you kind of make that decision. But the fact that they have constantly changed everything about it, and it's constantly been if you take this, it's a vaccine. You're not going to get it. You're da 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 da. And oh well, no, you don't get these side effects, even though it's been proven that people are getting those side effects. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
that's what bugs me the most about it, is them hiding it. What is she doing? Sorry.
Well, it's the same idea, and and we bring it up before. There is in anything that has a risk, anything that has a risk. There has to be a choice. And I think a lot of people are feeling deceived. Pierre Poilievre had just announced how many people that it's funny that Jean Charest, that fucking liberal cunt, felt it necessary to try and say, well, and Patrick Brown too, but Patrick Brown, he's not a I'll just say he's not a good person. I'll just say that. He's not a g Every email I get from him, I tell him, "Shut up, you liberal hack," because he is. He advocated for some of the strongest lockdowns, and now what is his big push? "I fought against it." How you are the definition of a politician on it. I advocated. You can see there's articles. I don't need to bring them up. By all means, please, I encourage you, find this information for yourself. Look for it. He advocated the hardest for lockdowns in Brampton, but yet now he's saying, "I fought for freedom. I fight for freedom." I get emails all the time from this dumb about, "I'm fighting for freedom." Pierre Poilievre. It's funny seeing Jean Charest and Patrick Brown. All they can do is target because they understand what a threat Pierre is.
It's literally all
Roman
that.
Baber, they're not going after him. They see what a threat he is, so they're trying to discredit anything that he says.
Oh, 100%. But see, that's what they're good at, because they've learned from the master, which is Trudeau, because he does the exact same thing. Every time he deems something a threat, or he's scared about something, he right away just comes back with attacks. It's like Amber Heard in government.
It's it's the same idea. If you can't attack the idea, attack the person.
Yes,
And you look like a loser.
100%.
So these are what these guys. You don't see them going after Roman Baber because again, I would say advocate. Look at my platform. This is what I'm petitioning for. this is what I have done in the past, and you can see my track record. Well, when you look at Jean Charest, he had scandals of his own. Oh boy, did he have scandals! But no, no, I'm fighting for freedom, and Pierre, he's a right wing extremist. Oh, he's talking about cryptocurrencies. Um, I don't think Pierre is a financial advisor, so he can't. He could give suggestions. Like I have conversation with my friends about things that I'm looking at doing with our money in order to generate wealth. I'm not gonna, hey, you know what? If you want it, it's caveat emptor, buyer beware. It's at your own risk. But no, so you're just seeing more and more of this. It's the you don't have a platform to run on. You just say, "I'm fighting for freedom." Well, that's weird because for the past 2 years, you advocated for the exact opposite.
Right?
But I, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Like, it's the thing is, it's old news with Trudeau. It's the same fucking song and dance. Oh, there's another one. Same song and dance with him that he cannot answer a question at all. If he could, God, he'd be dangerous. But he can't, and he shan't.
Well, see, and that's honestly like every time I hear him like noise come out of his mouth, like it's just like I instantly just get angry because he never can answer a question ever. Like it's like he's got the script of what he's going to say and it's like, "Oh, how was the weather in California?" Well, I did my laundry the other day with some environmentally friendly soap and it's like this has nothing to do with what I just asked you.
It's like talking. This is talking to an NPC.
Yeah.
This is what most of this bullshit is. And then Gavin Newsom, like, if you want to see a fucking superhero or as like a superhero villain, look at Gavin Newsom. The definition of a super villain. That's what he looks like. And you see his failure of a state. Like, again, I've been through California. The state, like, without the people, the place is beautiful. The nature is beautiful. But what do you see? Nothing but homelessness, garbage everywhere. Everywhere. Burned out cars, cars on cinder blocks, tarps, all this shit. And you're saying that your state is a roaring success, is a beacon on the hill that everyone should aspire to? If that is the epitome of liberalism, count me out. And
Right.
Justin Trudeau and Gavin Newsom are 69ing each other, saying how great we are.
I was gonna say butt
Eh,
buddies, but yeah.
oh no, they're definitely just cock holsters for each other. And it's funny that California state's GDP is more than Canada, like, entirely. Listening to their little jack off session with each other. Oh, well, we're getting together and we're pushing for green new policies. Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay, well,
I like how you're doing
let's look
it
at these.
while you're flying on a plane.
Yeah, couldn't do remote. No, no,
Oh,
got to go to California for that beautiful California weather. It's a little hot in
yeah.
California right now, but global warming. All right, so I'll save this one for later. Okay, so let's talk about these fantastic policies that are being pushed forward. So with interest rates on the rise, so we have this from CP24. Nearly 1 in 4 homeowners would have to sell their home if interest rates rise more. It's from a survey. A survey conducted between April 14th and April 20th also found that 18% of homeowners polled are already at a stage where they cannot afford their home. Over 1 in 5 Canadians expect rising interest rates to have a significant negative impact on their overall mortgage debt and financial situation. The Bank of Canada remains on a rate hike path as it tries to tame inflation. Shut up, which is now at a 31-year high at nearly 7%, 6.8 if you want to be technical. On June 1st, the central bank increased its interest rate by a half percentage point to 1.5%. So, you are already seeing gas prices skyrocketing. People can no longer afford their homes, and for any new builds in Canada, you're looking at about 18 months in order
That's
to get
insane.
through all the bureaucratic bullshit, all the red tape, everything. Add another chalk another one. So you are seeing people are being forced to either now again make the decision of not only do I get to work, can I get to work? How am I to afford to get to work? And now how can I afford to pay for my house, my home, which is everyone's nest egg. This is how you create intergenerational wealth is having property, real estate. Oh, the government wants to tax if you're dumb enough to try and want to become wealthy, fuck you, you're too dumb. Give it to the give it to the government. Our government literally is propositioning to have you have to pay a tax on real estate, on your home. If you sell your home, the government already wants a piece of the pie that they already take your income tax from,
Of course.
that they tax you on everything. If you're dumb enough to buy a house, well, you have to pay a certain tax on that. If you're dumb enough to sell your home, so the government wants both sides of that transaction. How fucking gross!
Yeah, it's the same
It's
with cars.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the government always wants its cut. It would make
Yeah.
everything legal if it knew that on its end it's getting its percentage. That's the only, isn't it interesting? A lot of this stuff, drugs. Well, you could literally a drug pusher, as long as the government gets their cut, they're mostly gonna leave you alone. How fucked is that? Has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with being ethical, has nothing to do with having any types of morals. It's very clear with their policies. Oh, 1 in 4 people are potentially going to lose their homes in Canada. 1 in 4. Okay, but look at the big pushes we are making in Canada. Where the hell did that graph go? Here we go. Fuel prices. Ontario is looking at about $2.10 a liter. Hi, 119. Quebec, 220. British Columbia, 223. And for our American friends, times that by 3.8, then you'll get your number. So we're looking anywhere between $7 to $8 a gallon.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
That's about
Disgusting.
where we're operating from.
I know. I was talking to one of my American friends the other day, and he was talking about how it was like $4 a gallon up there. And he's like, oh, it's so expensive, and I can't really afford to drive anywhere. And I was like, I'll trade you. I'll take the $4 a gallon.
Yeah. So you're seeing again in these fucking liberal hotbeds, British Columbia, 223 cents a liter. So $2.20, almost 24 cents a liter. So people are now, when it comes to an election time, and again with the NDP, it's funny seeing how there was that video of Jagmeet getting, who was he getting harassed by? Sikhs. Wasn't Canadian? It was, or I should have said, it wasn't Canadians. It wasn't these Caucasian
Caucasians.
misogynists and raisins, racists.
Oh, potato, potato.
Goddamn raisins.
So wrinkly.
Oh God. No, a raisin is someone that stays on the beach too long. That's a raisin.
No, that's you
But
got to
it
stay in
was
the
from.
water too long.
Oh, all right. So this was from Sikhs, people of his own religious background. I don't know if he's Sikh or I believe he is Sikh, but the funny thing is,
Whatever.
hey, we're saying, hey, you betrayed us. You're selling us out. All this stuff. Hey, you know what? Those guys might be brown, but goddamn, they're my brother. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what people are getting pissed off about. Someone that advocates for, well, we need to wear masks, we need to lock down more, we need to freeze bank accounts. And then what is he caught doing? Oh, meeting with people without a mask. Again, I personally don't care, but if this is the rules that we're going to play by, well, then they should be enforced equally. When they're not, oh, okay, so then we have a tyrannical system,
Yes.
which by its definition is when laws are applied unequally.
Yeah. And that's what makes me personally angry. Because I'm like, okay, you're telling us that we can't do all this. We can't go here. We can't go there. We can't do this. We can't see our family. But then you
Okay.
you can. Hmm.
Mhm.
I see how it is. Oh, 100%. That's what really grinds my gears, Peter Griffin. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, so you know what? So you're just seeing more and more of how just disingenuous and all in the name of fighting climate change. Um, People are eventually they are going to look at and go, they get a reminder of your policies every single time they have to go to the gas station. That is really it. So your policies and again, all the liberals out there, it's would love to hear an explanation as to why, $7, $8 for a gallon of gasoline in order to well, I have a Tesla, so I don't worry. I drive past it. Where do you think that's the power comes from? Even in Canada, we have very green policies, especially in Manitoba. We have a lot of hydroelectric dams. In Alberta, you look at their price, and then you look at in Saskatchewan, oddly enough, in BC, it's because of the policies. People are reminded that I can't afford my home. I can't afford to go to work. That is a policy reminder. I don't think
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that are going, "Yeah, you know what? I love it. I loved spending $100, $200, $300, $500 to fill up my car for a month." When just a couple months ago, it was $200 for the month. Now 5?
Oh, I
Well,
know. Like, literally before, it cost, I don't know, 70 to $80 to fill up our vehicle.
mm,
Now it's 140. It's literally like that's 2 weeks for me, and that lasts me 4 days. 4 days.
yeah, and and again, it's this idea of people are the people that are being affected the most. Like, to be fair, yeah, we feel it, but it's not a deal breaker. That doesn't kill me.
Not yet.
But no, but you're seeing the people that are already. So again, oh, we're supposed to be helping single mothers. Okay, well then how are you helping single mothers where they can no longer get to work? Oh, well, the bus tickets are going to have to go up because where do you think they're run off of what fucking liberal what dreams?
Bitch dust.
Yeah. So it's another idea of well, if you were truly trying to help people, you seem to be doing quite the opposite. There's that old phrase of um, liberal is really good at really good at spending other people's money. And that's really what we're seeing.
No,
We have
100%.
record debt. I had posted on Twitter earlier today. I said, there's a lot of firsts for Justin Trudeau right now. The first person that I know of to get COVID twice. The first person to have record unemployment, to have record inflation, record high gas prices, record high housing prices, and record high unemployment. Because regardless if someone has to work, if they have to work 2, 3 jobs directly in because of your policies, like I am actively looking at other places to live because it is becoming unsustainable. Even in my industry, what I do, and to be fair, at the end of the day, my costs get trickled down to the consumer. So, it becomes unsustainable. You can't just 100, 200 years ago, you could go off into the bush and build your home and you could live there. Now you can't. Everything is so, we've shaved all the corners off.
Well,
No,
and
no
the
one's
government,
allowed to take risk.
yeah, and everybody has to have their grubby little hands in the pie.
Yeah, it's the same idea, and this is what I strongly oppose is someone saying that you can or cannot do X, Y, or Z. Obviously, well, if I wanna have plutonium in my garage and sprinkle it on my fucking chicken fingers, well, of course. Yeah, I think that's but at some point, the government isn't here to protect you from yourself. That's what is happening here.
Because we're too stupid.
I don't know. It really bothers me to see. Okay, so we're supposed to be fighting homelessness. Well, what are you doing? You printed $1.5 trillion dollars in Canada. In fact, you printed a lot more, but devalued our currency. You somehow can find in a budget what you gave what 2 reserves clean water, but yet you're totally okay sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine, giving it to all these other countries where you have literal third world countries in your own country.
Right? Right? Like that's what makes no sense to me. It's like everybody is so willing to really quickly give their money and help in other countries and stuff like that, but yet we have people in our own country that desperately need help.
Yeah,
Like desperately need resources and they're up north. People on reserves. Like go to
of
a
course.
reserve. Like
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
yeah.
No, but he signed a land deal with, that reserve in Calgary.
Ooh,
Wow. Well, get rid of
one.
all those fucking Indian reservations. Get rid of it. Abolish the Indian Act or whatever you're calling it now. I think it still is the Indian Act. Abolish it. Get rid of it. But all right. So let's just touch on this quickly. So I had received this from Scotiabank, or not from Scotiabank. It was from Change.org.
Okay.
Listen to first world problems. Oh my god. All right. So Alto Peaks, which is company name. When petition starter Morgan, who is non-binary and uses they them pronouns, went to Scotiabank to get a debit card. They were told that the bank does not allow gender neutral programs or pronouns or titles on accounts. Instead, Morgan was forced forced. Oh, their very core of their being was being attacked. That doesn't accurately reflect who they are. Um, I guess Scotiabank still operates under the biological terms, but now Morgan is urging Scotiabank to change their policies to be inclusive. I think they are. I think they're being quite inclusive. Again, once you start thrusting this type of stuff, so it just concludes with show your support for Morgans. No, in fact, I would actually. Can I start a counter petition to like, hey, can I just open up a Scotiabank account and never use it? Can I just donate to Scotiabank? Maybe I should buy some stocks in Scotiabank. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. But you are, again, we talked about this yesterday. You are telling someone again, be whatever the fuck you want. I could not possibly care less. Don't care. But when you say you need to address me as such, no, I don't. I don't have to. I am under no obligation to. Well, I was tweaking my nipple the other night and it started to really hurt, and I was trying to understand why. Oh, fuck, we're back. No, but it's again, it's the basic idea of you're you're trying to enforce something on other people, an idea, a whatever it is. So if I and again, I brought this up yesterday. Like I have a mirror right next to me. Well, I can define what a mirror is, but you're expecting the world in order to address you as a fairy. Hey, you know what? If you want to be a fairy, by all means. I don't care. But it's about being truthful, and we're no longer that's what bothers. But it's just that seeking of outside validation. I don't know what I was saying. I just
Uh,
talked.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even remember. I got so distracted by. I'm like, fuck. Seriously, it like froze again, or we lost you again. Yeah. Sorry, guys. It appears to be raining out here, so this background I got going on is kind of fitting. But yeah. So sorry, we keep cutting in and out here. Um, one thing that I really do have a problem with about the, I
Oh,
guess, go
I
ahead.
I was what I was saying was that I'm a seeker of truth. That's all I was saying at the end. That we're no longer talking about truth. we're just talking about either it's platitudes or not even accommodation, because it's not like if I say, "Oh, well, you're a they them." Okay, what is that? That doesn't do anything. But sorry. Okay.
See, what my big concern is, and the funny thing is, I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like why is it a concern when clearly like of mine when clearly nobody else seems to give a shit, but it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me because okay, when you have things if on your Facebook page, on your social media, you want to be referred to as a unicorn. Okay. Unicorn's my thing, okay? Nobody else can be a unicorn but me. So, anyway, but so if you want to be a
Tell that to
unicorn,
the Azov Battalion.
what?
Tell that to the Azov Battalion that are now a bunch of
Uh
unicorns to stick
yeah.
it to Putin.
Yeah, I know they
I don't
stole
know
it.
how
Jerks. Anyway.
you're losing.
But anyway, okay. So if I want to put on my social media, my TikTok, my Facebook, my whatever, that I'm a unicorn, okay, fine. You know, that's your social media. You can have all the kind of fun you want with that. I remember back in the day, I'm kind of sad that they took this away, but on Facebook you could actually change it to pirate speak. So literally you would log into Facebook
Mm.
and everything was in pirate speech and it was the coolest thing ever. I loved it. But like doing things like that, okay, it's fun. It's on social media, it's meant to be fun, okay? Fine. But now when you're starting to integrate it where, you know, if somebody goes into a hospital and well no, I'm a female. Um Okay. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Or
it has real world ramifications.
yes, or okay, if they're taking it off driver's licensing or say they're making it more inclusive and putting like a non-binary or whatever it may be on there. So they're taking genders off of there and you can come in and you can change your gender or you can go in, change your gender free will. And you don't even have to like cuz back in the day I believe you had to show proof of the gender being changed for them to actually change the gender on your driver's license. Where now it's a big no-no. So Tyler could go into any auto pack and just be like I want to identify as a female and they will change his gender for him and it'll show on his driver's license a female. Okay. In that retrospect, where I'm going with this. Okay. So a cop is now chasing your vehicle. They're looking you up and it's saying, okay, Tyler Altimore, and it's supposed to be a female. Okay. They're looking for a female. Or, okay, this person is at large. It's a 6'5", muscular,
Bearded female.
bearded female. It's like, really? Or an elf or a fairy or whatever, a tooth emoji. I'm sorry guys,
Like,
I'm never going to get over the tooth emoji one. But like but the thing is like how is that a good thing? Okay, person at large, it's a female. Everyone's looking
well,
for someone who looks female.
it's the idea of, okay, we are no longer playing in reality. It's the, the kids that like that grew up with, well, you can be whatever you want, and the world is your oyster, and everything is about you and for you. And they the thing is, these are perpetual children now. This Morgan, I guarantee you, hasn't actually worked a real job in their life. I'm making a big statement there, right? Exactly. Yeah, I am. This is someone that hasn't had any type of adverse any life experience, hasn't actually experienced the world. And to say that Scotia Bank is forcing me, shut up. Like really,
Grow
if
up.
that's your hardest thing in the world, you got it great. Because if you're in most people are in a position that they can't even have a bank account, and now the government's trying to force all of that.
Right?
That's your biggest problem is you can't put they them on your bank form.
Wow. Like seriously, grow up. Honestly, just grow up. Like it just it
It's disingenuous.
we've
I
turned
think that's
into
ultimately it.
a giant RPG game. That's
Mhm.
literally all life is turning into right now is just a role playing game. What do you want to be? What do you want to identify as? It's not the actual reality of the situation anymore. You know, fuck science, fuck everything. It's literally make believe. That's what this world is turning into. I'm getting a lot of ticks here today, guys. I have to start keeping track because I swear too much. Motherfucker. One more.
But so but and I do agree with you that it's you see people that are they do like prank videos, and it's like almost like we've shifted from we no longer experience the real world, just like how we don't really experience wild the wilderness anymore. We dip our toes into it once in a while.
Yeah.
And now this is kind of like what's happening with our own reality, where people are, you see them like they're, like um, what's the animation? It's like rubber arm animation, like Disney, where everyone's always kind of bouncy,
Oh,
like everything just kind of it doesn't stay still, everything just moves.
I don't know about that. I
Or
know
it's like
claymation, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
well, look up at like Disney and any of their cartoons, like they have like the rubber arms, like they don't have elbows, but they
Oh,
have.
yeah, yeah.
But you see kids, like, they start doing that.
I
They
know.
they start moving like cartoons. They start emulating it. So, then they go out in public and you see, like, some kid, like, they start, like, doing, like, these weird, like, jitter things. But it's because that's what they're seeing people do like, TikTok or on YouTube. You
What?
see them do, like, these, like, it's like they're lagging or something, like
Yeah, right? Well, and how many people have been busted now for pretending to have Tourette's, pretending to have um DID. You know what I mean? Like other mental disorders. Like people are literally going on TikTok,
is. Is it? Tick, tick,
pretending
tick,
to
tick.
have right. See, talk about Tourette's. Um, but people are literally going onto TikTok pretending to have mental disorders or physical disabilities or whatever it may be, just to get the likes, just to get people to click on them. You know what I mean? Like it's just
You
this
see that
world.
thing from Ricky Berwick? So, like, Justin Bieber has, like, Lyme disease.
Does he?
And s Yeah, so his face, like, it looks like he has a stroke. And so so Ricky was reacting to it, and so Justin Bieber goes, "Yeah, so it turns out I have a syndrome." And you see Ricky go, "Huh?" "Yeah, I have whatever the medical name for Lyme disease is." And he goes, "One of us! One of us! One of us!"
That's
For anyone
cute.
that doesn't know, like, Ricky Berwick, like, he's a cripple. Well, he calls himself a cripple. So, he's actually, like, seriously disfigured, but, he he's just yeah, one of us. But now you're seeing
He's
that are
awesome.
people that are yeah, that are wearing are making a mental disorder as a character trait. Like,
Right?
honestly, when I look at Ricky Berwick, I think that's a perfect example. I don't look at some I honestly, I don't. Yes, you can see that he's disabled, but you don't see him going, "I'm a cripple, pity party me." He's like, "No, man,
No.
I'm having fun." He keeps shitting on Shrek, even though he loves Shrek, but he's like, "Ah, fucking Shrek."
Yeah, no,
No, but
he's just so funny, you kind of forget about it. You know what I mean? Like it's that's the thing is you're looking at the person, not what they have or what's wrong with them or whatever, their disability. Like that you're looking past that. And that's the thing, even with, with races and stuff like that, like back in the day. Like I didn't give a fuck what a person was. You know what I mean? Like
no,
it never crossed my mind that I should treat them differently. Like, I treated them like they were my classmates, my friends, my family, like, you know what I mean? They were just people.
yeah, and so you're seeing this big shift in, you know, I'm part of this community, so, I am siloed in this community, I'm a lesbian, non-binary, BIPOC. Okay, so those are
Neurodivergent and, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because 'cause they're turning those things into identities now too, is your
yeah,
mental whatever.
yeah, that's your instead of saying I again, a lot of people that are actually some of the best CEOs in the world have a form of they are psychotic. Like, there's a
Sociopaths.
fine line. Yeah, there's a fine line between a serial killer and a CEO. There's about, hmm, and there's some they dance that line because they do not care.
Oh yeah,
They
they're
cannot show empathy.
yeah, they're cutthroat. I
That's like, when people see that, they just say like, "Oh, well, this person, like, they're a cutthroat, or they're a ruthless boss, or they're driven." They don't say, "Oh, this person's psychotic." No, someone can be psychotic. In fact, a lot of people do lack a lot of empathy, and that's one you're seeing typically on the left is from it is all emotion. Everything is driven by emotion, and now it's being even more driven by victimhood status. And I hate the fact that, if you're a an aboriginal person, that I'm supposed to think about how my race influences this dialogue. That's mind-boggling to me. So we're trying to silo everything, and then, well, I'm a representative of the Asian community as a representative for. No, you're not. No, you're not. You don't speak for me. Just like Justin Trudeau, when saying that most people understand, oh, 90% of Canada supports these lockdowns and supports the mandate. No, that's you taking 90% of people have gotten this shot, this flu shot. It's not a vaccine. Fight me if you think it's a vaccine. And then saying, well, therefore, because 90% did it, that must mean that they support it.
nay,
Absolutely
nay.
not.
Nay, nay.
No. Unfortunately, I care about my family and what I need to do in order for them to have some type of normalcy. But again, you are driving people away. More people are leaving Canada than entering Canada.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And now there's this big, you see there's the big replacement theory that people are so mad about, that because Caucasian people are going to become less, that white people are somehow mad about this.
I think they people of lighter skin tone would more be mad at the fact of people literally everywhere you go, you're looked at as a racist. You're looked at as the bad guy, even though nobody in my family ever did anything. I've never done anything. I've done nothing but treat people equally and as kind as possible and loved them just for who they are. Like it makes no sense, but like we talked about yesterday, you support gay people and well, no, you're homophobic. You're against gay people, you're homophobic. There's literally no winning. And I think
Hmm.
that would upset people more when literally it's like you can't win for losing. Nothing you do ever seems good enough. And you're just this bad person. Everybody looks at you now as you are this bad person. They're teaching other races to look at your race as you are a bad person. And it's not right.
No, it's not. And what does that create? Think if you were told your whole life you're you're a negative. Like, let's say, as a Caucasian person, everyone says, "Well, because you're a cis white man," which, oh, I want to punch anyone that says that. I won't, but I want to. In my head, I'm just, "Ugh," I I won't, because I have some kind of civil decorum,
I'm
even if
Mike
I don't.
Tysoning you in my head right now. Rawr, bite your ear
Yeah.
off.
Oh, yeah, I was more thinking of the guy that kept poking Mike Tyson, like, kept
Oh, yeah.
poking him on the plane, and then
Mm.
Mike Tyson just started just feeding him.
Forgot about
But
that.
so this is really what you are seeing is, think of someone in that situation, a Caucasian person, and you're saying you're an abuser, all you do is cause so destruction everywhere you go. You're like a plague. That's all you do. You are, if the four horsemen of the apocalypse were personified, it's in every white person. And if you think I'm joking about this, just look at, like, what the literature says in combating whiteness and stopping whiteness. And If someone is hammered with that, where you have the the whiteness letter and you have a devil's tail and a white hand, you know, this is all being injected into our society. And then, once you're done thinking about that, think of on the other side where you were told you only reason you are failing is because of someone else. And it's not like, oh, corporations have sold you out and multinational corporations, in turn and hire slaves to produce your goods. Again, what we're talking on, my phone was made by slaves. I have to recognize that, and I don't want to. Like, I don't want to. I do recognize it. I would rather it be produced somewhere that doesn't have slaves, but
Yeah.
China's going to do what China does. But then have someone say it's the whites' fault. It's the whites. That's the reason. It's the colonizers. They're the reason why your world is you have it so hard. That's why you don't have multi-million-dollar house and all this stuff. It's not your fault. You're entitled to that. In fact, we encourage it. We encourage violence. Are you seeing, like, you see this stuff in the States, with the Supreme Courts being threatened? They had a guy, they were protesting out front of his house. A guy ended up getting arrested. He got dropped off in an Uber back at this justice's house because he was gonna bomb it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you're seeing, oh, fuck, are you dead again? Oh, no, you're back.
No, here.
You're just
I know you did the same thing too, because I was like looking at you like, oh no. Yeah, we got it.
but
Sorry,
so
guys. We got a storm going on here, so I keep cutting in and out.
but so you're seeing this more and more, this ratcheted up rhetoric, and who is it coming from? Really, who is it coming from the right? No, not really. But eventually, at some point, when someone is saying you're the reason you should be fired, you shouldn't have a job, you said the wrong words. It's like, well, but you said the same words, just it's you and not me. And they said, well, but that's because I'm black. That's because I'm a BIPOC. No, I don't even say black. I'm BIPOC. That's because as a representative of such community, I'm entitled to say that. Okay, sure. And then people go, you know what? Okay, then I'm done. You are only going to create more racism. When you make racism the main factor in an interaction is, well, how does my skin color interact or influence this discussion? Then I can no longer have a genuine discussion with you because, you know, you'll see, like, we brought this up before. Liberals to minorities will talk down to them. They will dumb down their language because they think they're stupid.
Yeah.
Typically, those on the right will not. I you know, I've only really taught, well, I was speaking with a Mexican guy yesterday, and yeah, I did have to dumb down my language because he didn't really speak English.
Well, yeah, that's different.
Like,
That's very different. I have to do that at work on a daily basis, like talking to
yeah,
people who do not speak my language. So to try to get them to understand 100%. And I had to do that when I was in Cuba. She didn't understand what I was
mhm,
saying. So I had to try to small words and like it's not that I'm trying to, I think that I'm smarter than them. I'm trying to actually communicate with this person. And what can I do to change what I'm saying and doing to be able to communicate with this person a little bit better? Okay, okay, you're pretending to be frozen now. I can tell that you moved a little bit.
no, no, right, just
Okay. We're going to have to pack it in, guys. The storm apparently is not wanting to let us finish. So, hope everybody's had a great day. Thank you for taking the time to hang out with us and listen to some things that we have to say about shit going on in the world today. Um, don't forget you can check us out in all the places listed in the description box below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Share us like a dirty little whore. That's what we like. Oh, well, that's what I like. Anyway. All right, we will catch you again tomorrow and for hump day. And yeah, that's all I really got for you. Bye, guys. Stay dry.